City Rathnapura International Gem and Jewellery Exhibition for the year 2025. And we've been doing a lot of awareness campaigns all throughout, and it's time now for one such event. We're going to touch on trends in international gem market, future of Sri Lankan gem industry in this next presentation. To do the honors, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Rohan Fernando, graduate chemist, MSc in gemology, from the University of Peradeniya, and also holds a postgraduate diploma in chemistry from the University of Colombo. I'd like to invite Mr. Rohan Fernando to do the honors.
Good morning, everybody. So today, my lecture is under the topic Trends in International Market and Future of Sri Lankan Gem Industry. Now, all of you are engaging in gem industry by the means of mining, trading, like that. So this is the gem industry, part of gem industry. Right. What will be the future? That's the most important thing regarding our economy. Right? So let's see whether we can learn something out of our past history and use those facts for the future. Right? As you know, we are named as Rathnapura. It's mentioned in ancient chronicles because of our relationship with gemstones. Right? And we were known as Rathnapura by the foreigners. So how old this industry? What do you think? How old this industry? This is one of the most oldest industries in Sri Lanka, like agriculture, fishery, like that. About 3,000-year-old history, still alive, still alive. Most of the industries vanished with the time. But fortunately, this industry, with the 3,000 years history, still alive. 3,000 years ago also, gemstones were mining at Rathnapura, still mining. Even for the future, it will be mined, right? Right? One thing you are not much aware, in our history, in one time, we were known as the Center for Beads. Center for Beads. Beads, pavalu, that made out from gemstones. Many type of gemstones, many type of beads are being in Sri Lanka, especially at Rathnapura area, Jetavana area. Thousands of lakhs of beads there. That means we had a tumbling and bead making industry within Sri Lanka, and that is an evidence we are being engaged in the gem industry. Now, there were kings that supported for the gem industry. Now, in the case of Sri Lankan history, we had kings, very brave, King Dutugamunu, Devana Pietissa, Vijaybahu, like that. Now, in the case of trade, whom do you think the best king? Whom use all the resources and make the Sri Lanka one of the best countries at that time. Now, the king was Kim Parakram Bahu. Kim Parakram Bahu. That king actually made the geological and the position of Sri Lanka for the trade. Now, we are talking about the customs. We are talking about the customs. Is the customs a new thing for Sri Lanka? No. Custom procedures and customs were not new things for Sri Lanka. And it is mentioning Kim Parakram Bahu, right? Made a separate department, custom department, made as Antaranga Dura, and charged taxes from the trade happening along the sea line. That sea line means there was a sea line, Silk Route, from China, Canton of China, to Istanbul, or at the Turkey, right? You see that all the ships were going through there, and we had a good port at Ambalantota area known as Godawai. Now you can see some of the beads found from Jetavana area site, based on quartz, garnets, like that, stones. Now, all of you know we are talking about sustainable development, and we need the development for the country. We need the development. Now, what sort of development you like? With the preserved environment, right? Preserved environment, living standard of people high, and people do have high amount of money in their pockets, and even the good governance. Those are the basically sustainable development, right? So we are willing to have that sort of development. Now the thing, what is the most difficult thing Sri Lanka is facing now? What do you think? What is the most difficult thing Sri Lanka is facing now? Still, we are a little bit happy because we are not paying our debts, right? Now, let's see how about our economy, our foreign exchange. From the exports, merchandise exports, industrial exports, services, worker remittances, like that, altogether, we are earning about 26,232 million US dollars. That means 26 billion US dollars we are annually earning from our exports, export side. Export earning, right? That is there. Now, even though we are earning that, right, in the case of our economy, still we are when compared to the all other countries, we are not at very good place, but at a middle place, like that, 71, just 70, 71, like that, from out of the 190 economies of this world. And our per capita, we say regarding the income of the people, about 4,200 US dollars is the GDP of generally Sri Lankan, right? Now, in the case of USA, it is 10 times, about 42,000. Australia, about 60,000, like that. Very high amount. That's why people are flying, right? So, at least, to come into our near near place to just jump into middle income country, we have to have GDP of 6,500. Now we are at 4,200. About 50% we have to jump, right? 50% increasement, right? Then, how can we achieve those things with our barriers? Our barrier. What is our barrier? Our barrier is our debt. Our debt. Big barrier, right? Not a small barrier, it's a big barrier, right? Now, fortunately, from the income tax last year, we have earned about 1,000 billion Sri Lankan rupees. From the VAT, about 700 billion Sri Lankan rupees. Altogether, we have earned about nearly 2,000 billion Sri Lankan rupees last year. Now see 2025 budget. Our revenue altogether about 5,000 billion Sri Lankan rupees. Our expenditure is about 7,200 billion Sri Lankan rupees. Still, we have 2,200 billion Sri Lankan rupees as the debt. About 6 to 7 billion US dollar, right? So that is the lagging part in our country, right? So government automatically have to increase the income tax and tax-paying population, about 1 billion tax files now. So it is still about 10% from the working population. And those are many steps to do, right? Now, these are the facts. Still our development is at about 4%. And our GDP in 2025 will be 90 billion US dollars. Now, from 2028, we have to pay our debts. That means per annum, 4 billion US dollars we have to pay. 4 billion US dollars, big amount. Now, how this industry can help? Right? So this is our debt. End of the 2024, that means 100 billion US dollar debt there. 100 billion US dollar debt. Right? 100 billion. Big. Now, this industry that we are working, we are engaging in, our nice industry, it creates lot of opportunities for us gem miners, lapidaries, gemologists, teachers. All of you are engaged in this industry happily, right? Rathnapura area, basically resource-based industry happening. We are mining the resources available at Rathnapura area and surrounding areas, where the Jewellery industry basically based on the imported material, import-dependent industry at the Jewellery area, where the stones are coming from Madagascar and African region. Right? Now, how many people engage in this industry? What do you think? Roughly? How much of our population altogether engage in gem and jewelry industry? Now, if you calculated, sorry, it is moving. Our working population is generally 70 lakhs or 7 billion working population in Sri Lanka. Out of that, about 250,000 up to 300,000 people are engaged directly in gem and jewelry industry. That means from our working population, about 3 to 4% are engaging in gem industry, gem and jewelry industry directly. Now, what do you think? All the time we are complaining this industry do not generate enough foreign exchange, right? All the time statistics says we are just earning about 500 million US dollars from gem exports. 500 million. That's no, Mr. Helma? Like that, no? Huh? Yes, 500 million US dollars like that. What do you think? Is it correct? Something statistical wrong there. Right? Now I am comparing the gem industry with the rubber industry, which is happening even at Sabaragamu province. Rubber industry, total population engaged in rubber industry is 150,000, roughly. But by rubber exports, we are earning about 1 billion US dollars. 1 billion US dollars by the rubber industry. More, right? So, is this gem industry even behind the rubber industry? No. Because some of the exports means are not coming into our records. Right? Now, we are believing all the exports means exports which are going through the government channels. That means through the gem authority, customs, like that. But there are exports are happening. That means foreign exchanges are coming, like airport gem shops, harbor gem shops, hotel gem shops, shops at Perhara time, Kandy, Gold, those areas. And even, you can see a lot of foreigners are coming to streets at Rathnapura, Beruala. They are purchasing. They are purchasing. That means they are not coming into the statistics. So this has to be, because otherwise, this population cannot be survived. About 300,000 population cannot be survived if the earning is below 1 billion, right? So some statistical wrong there, because all the things are not coming into records. That's the thing. So about 1 billion foreign exchange is coming through the gem industry. But we can increase, we can upgrade that amount. We need to upgrade. Because we have to pay our debt, we have to contribute for the country, like that, right? Right. What do you think? Is Sri Lanka a poor country? All the time we are saying defaulted country. Some are saying this is useless to live in Sri Lanka. We have to fly away. Actually, if you believe, you can believe, in the case of mineral resources, we do have about 1 trillion worth mineral resources within Sri Lanka. 1 trillion, 1,000 billion worth mineral resources in Sri Lanka. What do you think about the gem mines at Rathnapura and Sabaragamu province? All are exhausted or still there? Dr. Nuwan, what do you think? Still unmined sources are there, right? Now, if you think about our mineral resources, it is calculated, there are oil resources there, but not in near future it will come into the scene. Anyhow, gem resources, about 250 billion worth gem resources scattered within Sri Lanka, roughly. And we have ilmenite, rutile, and other sand deposits available in Sri Lanka. Phosphates, mica, graphite, best graphite deposits in Sri Lanka. Right? And recently found there's a huge cobalt nickel deposit in Sri Lankan Sea. About 200 kilometers from Sri Lankan Sea, there is a huge cobalt nickel mountain at the Sri Lankan Sea. Right? Altogether, about 1 trillion worth mineral resources in Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan Sea like that. So not a defaulted country. Just we have to pay a debt there, but not a defaulted country, right? Now, how can we get more revenue by this field? Can we develop this field? What do you think? Yes, we can. We have to work. One important thing, we have to attract new investors, even from Sri Lanka and from, if possible, from other countries. Now, new investors means there are people that having lavishly money available. Doctors, lawyers, tuition masters, like that, earning a lot. We have to attract those people for the field. Why? Why it is necessary? A field is running if the money is available in that field. If it is dried, no one will come. Right? We have to convince the investors for this field and attract new investors for this field, whom can invest on gemstones. Right? As an investment medium. Now, to make an investment, you like to make an investment if you can sell it. After purchasing, once you need the money, if you can sell it back, we like to invest on that. Now, we have the trade shows. What do you think? Can we get the maximum amount for a gemstone at a trade show? What do you think? What do you think? To get a maximum amount for a gemstone, can we get it at a trade show? No. What is the best mechanism? What is the best mechanism? Best way? Best way to get a most bigger price for a gemstone, what is the best way? Auctions. Still, in this trade, you cannot see auctions. Just hidden auctions are going online like that. Not a big auctions are going. This is something lacking. People do have stones. By the auctions, can get bigger amount, bigger prices for the stones. So it is a concept. It is a field that is somewhat new to gem and jewelry field, but can be promoted more, can be promoted. Right? There is a big opportunity, big role in that field. And other one, expansion of our market. Now, our major market, Europe, USA, China, like that. Dubai, Singapore, like that. Do we have major markets there anymore? Now, what is the country that multiplying billionaires after the China? India. 2-hour flight. 2-hour flight. All the time we are thinking about best stones for Europe, for USA, like that. The billionaire country nearby, India. why don't think about the Indian market? There's a big potential. Auctions, Indian market, where we can expand. And our diversification of our market. All the time, we are selling gemstones. Gemstones. We are thinking about market is only blue sapphires. Is it correct? Now, within the Kim Parakram Bahu period, one commodity, Sri Lanka did the market, they were pearls. Pearl business, pearl industry, where we are not still thinking about. Where Thailand, Burma, Vietnam, all are engaging in the pearl industry. Pearl culture, pearl farming, they are engaging in. We are just mining our stones. Why don't we think about the pearls? There's a big market. Pearls are going at high rates. Not exhausting like gemstones. So we have to diversify our market. We have to think about, right? And there are some wood pieces, wood type of jewelry is popularizing. Especially, there is a good example is ironwood. Very tough wood material, like jet, very hard. Nagas. Ironwood means na, right? That wood, based on ironwood, there are jewelries are popularizing. So like that, we have to think about new materials, new trends. And most importantly, we have to upgrade our technology. We have to do it, definitely. Especially the cutting. Cutting side, we have to improve. We are talking it, little by little improving, but we have to improve more. Right? Then, having much as possible exhibitions. Now, we have to glad to National Gem and Jewellery Authority for having a gem exhibition at Rathnapura. Right? But the exhibition has to come from the mining community at here. Right? They are the people that engaging in the industry. They can collectively build up the exhibition. But fortunately, NGJ came to here and conducting the exhibition. Now you can see, experience. Lot of businesses are happening. Before the exhibition, before the 2 years, this business was not happening like this. Now see how many people are earning for their stones. For their stones at the lockets like that. Now they are earning. Right? So having much as possible exhibitions. Now what are the other suitable places to have exhibitions in Sri Lanka? Candy. Candy people also not coming forward to make an exhibition, but there's a big potential at candy. And after that, if we can think about even gold. Gold, tourists are coming to gold because it's a famous, right? Famous tourist destination. So candy, gold, like that, we can include into our exhibition diary. Because altogether, now at Colombo Facet Show, Jewel Show, and Beruwala Show there, at Rathnapura Gem City Show there. So we can allocate 2-3 more shows for our diary, where our people can earn more money. Right? And having more laboratories possible. Now, Rathnapura Gem Authority Lab there, private, I think, 2-3 laboratories there. Students, after learning gemology, can engage into laboratory work, laboratory business. There's a big potential there, right? All the stones are, now see, all the businesses are happening based on the certificates, right? So having more laboratories and promoting more online business can make a difference for the economy. Now see this map. See our Sri Lankan map. The tourist destinations. Tourists are starting from Colombo, going to Dambulla, Sigiriya, and from there diverting and coming to Badulla, L area, and going to Yala, and coming to Galle, and coming to Colombo, and moving from Katunayaka. No one thinking of coming to Rathnapura, Sabaragamuwa. Why? Why? A big business is happening in Sabaragamuwa, Rathnapura. Whether the Sabaragamuwa people poor, lack of infrastructure. Now, fortunately, this Silver Hotel been at this area, Lellopitiya. But do you have any this level hotel, accommodating hotel at Rathnapura area? Is it having? No. Now, thank you that Mr. Vinil built a hotel at Kollupitiya. Like that, our gem community, rich people, please build a good hotel at here. With that, even with the heritage of Sabaragamuwa, Saman Devale, and ecotourism, Singharaja, and other mountains, waterfalls, we can promote altogether Sabaragamuwa as a good tourist destination, where we can change this map to, we can divert into Sabaragamuwa. Because tourists are missing Sabaragamuwa. Right? So that is not a duty of the GEM authority. It's the duty of the miners association and mining community at here, dealing community at here, to build those infrastructure. Right? So more value addition, like making good jewelry. What are the individual responsibilities? All the time we are thinking, we are asking about what government can do, whether we can do something, whether all the things, everything need to be done by the government. No. People have to do their duty also. We have to do our duty. Right? We have to be educated. We have to be educated. Now, people at Rathnapura need to be educated regarding gem industry. I had talked with some people. They told, "Mahatya api dannawani manik gana mona igana gandada? Api upanda indan dannawani." Is it correct for the gem industry? This is a big industry covering whole world. Fortunately, Sabaragamuwa University, Gem and Jewellery Research and Training Institute, they have launched diploma programs. Dr. Nuwan, right? Cannot. Sandun. So there are programs there. Please register and build up your knowledge and upgrade your knowledge. That will help, because there's a separate market at the world, not the market that we are thinking within the Sri Lanka. Lot of rare stones, rare minerals, those businesses are happening. Right? Explore. Widen your knowledge and try to upgrade your entrepreneurship capacities. Right? Those are very important. How to run a business in a profitable manner. Right? After the business, right? If you are marketing at the gem market, after the end of the day and following day, if you are starting the day without money in your pocket, that means you are not managing your finance. Right? So ethical and responsible way, right? Doing a good mining habits, good mining methodology, rather than making the environment into disaster like that. Those are ethical responsibilities, right? So many of the individual responsibilities are there which are important for your future and for the development of the country. Now see, are we in a good position? Are we in a good position? Yes. Geopolitically, we are in a very good position, Sri Lanka. Now, see, the Chinese community, the China, it is building a new economic pathway from China to Europe, known as one road, one belt concept. There is from Beijing to Turkey, there is a landway and also a maritime Silk Route there that passing through Sri Lanka. From China to Turkey or Europe, there is a maritime Silk Route there. Passing Sri Lanka, Hambantota, Beruwala, Colombo, ports like that. There is an immense potential. Let's see why this has the immense potential. Top 10 economies. Who is the most powerful economy? USA. Correct. 30 trillion US dollar economy. Following by China. Nearly 20 trillion economy. Following by Germany and following by India. India, at the end of 2025, who is coming into the third position? India. India is coming into 5 trillion US dollar economy at the end of 2025. Right? China, 20 trillion, India, 5 trillion. We are at a very rich, very, very rich area. Now, early, we thought Europe is rich. Correct. But now, the period for Europe is coming into an end. Now, the glittering and flowering economies at Asia, South Asia, East Asia, right? So we are in a very rich area now, where we have to get the use, right? Now see, we are very close to India, right? We are very close to Bangkok. We are very close to Singapore. We are close to Dubai, right? All of those countries to have collectively about 30 trillion worth economy. So why do we don't use this economy for the use of Sri Lanka? Now, we need to have a goal for the industry and for the country. If we are not having a goal, we cannot come into our expecting levels. At least we have to think about 77% growth of our economy and 7% growth for our gem industry. 7%. 7%. 7% වැඩි කරගත්තා නා. For 7 years, our GDP, per capita GDP, can come into about, say, 7,000 US dollars. That means our gem industry also coming into nearly about $1.5 billion US dollar economy. So, considering all the facts, with the individual responsibilities and the association-wise, their responsibilities all together, and the government attention, if we properly use, we can come into those status and we can have good market even for the future for the gem industry. Thank you for your attention, and wish you all very good luck. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohan Fernando, graduate chemist, MSc in Gemology from the University of Peradeniya, and also holds a postgraduate diploma in chemistry from the University of Colombo. Thank you so much for touching on trends in international gem market, future of Sri Lankan gem industry as well. And we are going to move into another very important topic. And I've been speaking to many people who just are gem enthusiasts, but they don't know how to identify a gemstone.